It's Real 92.3 Bootleg Kev DJ Hed.
West Coast.
Our brother Kid Ink is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Is that a new ring?
Welcome back.
That's a vibe, man.
Thank you.
Let me have some money. I'm
Shout
just
out
get it
to
out the
Jesus.
way.
Shout
I'm
out
just
to
get this
Jesus
shit out the way
Christ.
right now. Let me have some money.
It's not a new ring. I had did some editing to it.
Are you a big
I added some
Jesus
stuff.
guy?
Can I hold it?
Yeah, I was in church this last Sunday, but I'm not like a every Sunday church kind of
I feel you.
guy. I have my personal relationship. I did that when I was younger, though.
Shout out to
My mom was in
Jesus, man.
church.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We all, hey, we all know a Jesus. Might not be the Jesus, but we all know a Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we all grew up with one.
Especially in LA. Anyway,
You do.
Ink, you've been killing shit lately, man. I was just telling this
Thank you.
to Will. Like, you've been putting out a lot of fire, man. Like, why? Well, first of all, we're gonna do an announcement in a second, but like, dropping a song, I feel like it's been every other week or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like why the new flooding of music? We're not used to that from you.
We're not used
over
to
the last
that.
couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I was just in a better space of control, or I have been in a better space of control, and you know what I'm saying, been putting stuff out, you know, when I wanted to put it out, and the stuff that I've been wanting to put out, you know, scheduling it the way I want to. You know, I still have a strategy. I got a lot of records. I you know, we still got news, but it's like I got a lot of records.
You've been sitting. How much music you sitting on?
I mean, if it depends, because then you got like full songs, I got like hooks,
Right.
I got demos,
ideas.
ideas, stuff I still go back to, because it's still things I've gone back to, you know, when I'm just sitting rolled up and go through some old sessions from 2018, because it might still be 50 ideas I ain't gone through.
Right.
And I've actually gone back, caught a vibe, finished some records that I sat on for 2 years.
That's
So,
crazy. Well,
you know,
let's
I
get to
never
the big
waste nothing.
news.
Big
I'm gonna let you make
news.
the motherfucking announcement.
Do your shit, bro.
I don't know how to express this big news. Like, what do you say? I'm free. Like,
You got your freedom papers, nigga.
I got freedom papers. I did what
You're
they said
independent
could
now.
be undone. Not done. Yeah, I'm independent, man. Again,
Free
we
of
back
RCA.
indie. Free of RCA. Back, like I said, back in control. So, you know, really just having fun.
Why was that important for you to make the move at being independent?
I think it was just I got to a place where what I wanted to do creatively and the way that I wanted to release music, the time frame, the way I think things were switching up with how the label usually operated, and the way it had to switch up with the, you know what I'm saying, hip hop, and how hip hop switched up, and whether it be streaming or what's hot, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of those things I think changed for them, and I was moving a little more forward than the label was kind of moving forward with me. And, you know, it got to a standstill because we just weren't really, you know what I'm saying, agreeing on things creatively or marketing wise, or how things should be put out, or it was just stuff I guess that I also just wasn't used to when I was doing things independently, that I kept, you know what I'm saying, hitting walls where I was like, man, I'm not used to waiting for this long, or waiting for clearances, or this being this, or producer switching up the, you know what I'm saying, how they just operate with me, whether it be the bag or the clearance, or how we put stuff out, or features having to get cleared now. That it just, I think a lot of different things that I wasn't used to kept getting in the way of me putting music out just the way I wanted to.
I've been seeing like a lot of different people complain about labels. Like, you know, Mustard did some shit earlier or last year. Different people complaining about the labels.
Tory Lanez?
Tory Lane? Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Did you ever get to a point where you actually like were having conversations with them, aggressive conversations or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, because it's not, when I say the label, it's not just like one person or just like everyone's doing the same thing. Everybody has different jobs. So, you know what I'm saying, my A&R has a certain level, you know what I'm saying, that we communicate at. And, you know, it's not like I'm just calling the head of the label whenever I want. You know, you still got to set up a meeting. Like when we even set up a meeting to sit down, the meeting still took 2 months. Like you gotta
Shit.
You gotta wait. It's not like you could just I gotta go all the way to New York. It's not
You can't
like
just
I'm
pull up.
pulling up. So it'd be different if, you know what I'm saying, it was like NW, I could pull up, you know what I'm saying, walk in the office whenever I want. I gotta take a flight, you know what I'm saying, do all that, it's just a whole bigger thing. So, you know, I think from there, you know what I'm saying, just getting the situation right, man, was just due time. And I'm not gonna act like we didn't have a good situation in the beginning.
Yeah, no, you guys had a run?
We had a run. We made a lot of hit music together, you know what I'm saying? And even when we left, you know, there was nothing that I owed them or that they owed me. Everything was good. And even when I was leaving, it's not like they was like, cool, you out. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Whatever
right,
you
right.
need. It was kind of like, well, you're still, you know what I'm saying, valuable to us. It's just, you know, for me, I was valuable to them as a single artist more so than an artist that they were looking to make albums or, you know what I'm saying, release music the way I wanted to. So we were still making money together, but it wasn't doing nothing for how I wanted to progress and grow in my career and with my music and the craft. So from there, they were just, you know, cool with what we was doing and, you know, content. So
Do you think I know like Yusa was like the last record, right? That you guys dropped with them?
Yeah.
Was
It
that
was kind of the last try. I
right?
gave
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'm saying. It felt like it was the last. Like, do you feel like they didn't? You know, because we were the first people in the. I mean, I remember we
I
had
played the fuck out that record. He's stumbling. I played the
we
fuck out of
played
you.
we played that shit a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah. Now we put.
Yeah, I mean, there's things.
Do you feel like
that-
they dropped the ball on the record?
It's happened. They dropped the ball on plenty of records. Not necessarily. It's just because I guess the effort wasn't always given to
Yeah,
every.
the tie record I thought could have went big. Like I thought, you know, it's
Right.
like
And if I look at just even when I look back at everything we were doing during the time of, you know, Show Me or just around the first album, whether it be, you know, going on radio runs, the video budgets, or, you know, just the ideas or how they were linking it with socials. You know, at first everyone was really excited. It was a bunch of different ideas. And then, you know, I learned when it was records that I really wanted to release, even though we would, because a part of the agreement was we you know what I'm saying, do some records. If we all agree on this one, and then after, you know what I'm saying, we get this hit, you could just go, you know, do whatever you want. Go mixtape record, do whatever you want. But I noticed that when I would do those records, they didn't get the same support from the label. So I was never actually able to show and prove or have an argument of like, look at this, I did this and it worked, because it never got the radio runs or the video budget or the same things that the records that they wanted to get, you know what I'm saying, out got at those times. And you know what I'm saying, especially to people in the label switch up, especially when I do good, you know what I'm saying, if there's people working on my project and they do good and we have the success, they're not going to just stay at that same level and position. They get promoted. They move to different positions. I've had people move into completely different offices and don't do that job no more. So now it's a new guy who did that job who came in because he brought a different artist in, and then it's like they going for that before they're going on this side. And another thing on top of that, coming into the label, when I came in, it wasn't really a hip-hop label.
right. Nah, for sure.
I wasn't like a whole bunch of label mates that I was, you know what I'm saying,
Like, oh, we
rocking
can do,
with,
you know, yeah.
clicks or anything like that. It was like more pop R&B based. So, you know, those are the people that I was around or had access to a
Shout
little
out to
bit
Chris
more.
Brown.
Shout out to Chris Brown.
Yo, I do feel like, you know, as somebody, I've been following your career from the rip, and it's like it's good to see you, I feel like, with that independent energy, but you came into the game as somebody who was an independent artist, who was doing numbers independently, who had, you know, a cult-like fan base. You still have that fan base, you know what I'm saying? But then I feel like the narrative of Kid Ink changed to like, oh, he's just the radio, like he's like a radio guy. Like, yeah, like he needs a hit single. Like, I feel like it changed over the years to where it's like you have a foundation that's why you got here, but like now there's like the narrative that like, ah, man, Ink's, you know, he's just the radio guy, almost like a flow rider, if you will.
Right, and I don't know how that changed. I've never been a what do they call it now, like a industry plant.
No,
Like,
I know that. I
you know, like
for
I've
sure.
never had like the backing. Like when I said when I got signed, or I said it wasn't even a hip hop label. There was no like, they didn't have the connections or like could walk me in the rooms or do different things. So everything that was like a part of the culture was based on my relationships, on me, you know what I'm saying, in the circles that I was in and walking in the rooms. They weren't in the culture like that, especially at that time, to be like, we'll set you up here and we know to go to this thing and we doing this party, or I already got people from the label going to this party, you know what I'm saying? Unless it was also in New York. Like I said, too, I'm not in New York. I'm sure if I stayed in New York, I would have been a little bit more mixed in with whatever was going on at the label, but it's a little different.
Do you feel like there's anything you could have done differently? As far as maybe it's, you know, do you feel like you ever got comfortable? Do you feel like maybe, you know, this whole streaming shit has changed the way like the music industry is looked at? Like you said, like it's almost like the labels got to see something doing numbers before they even push it, even though they could hear it and be like, yo,
And
this could be
yeah.
a hit if we give it the right push.
Right, and they definitely, I don't ever remember them thinking too much like that. It always had to have some type of legs to it before they really,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, put something into it. And I mean, regrets, I mean, I don't have regrets about, you know what I'm saying, none of the hit records or like none of the, you know what I'm saying, I guess
I guess
know,
maybe-
times
Why would you regret that?
No, I just mean like maybe over the last like 3 or 4 years as the music,
But yeah.
as the game has started to change. a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
definitely, and that's the thing. I guess I regret. I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know if I was not being, because I'm not an angry artist or like someone who tries to be like vocal, especially on like social media about the distress. And I regret not being able to like let fans know
What's
that I was
going
like
on.
working,
Right.
or how to. I didn't know how to let them know what was going on, because I would literally see the comments like, "Kid ain't chilling, he good." He good. He rich. He got hits. He not doing.
Yeah,
I seen the fame get to his head. Blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, nah, I'm working. I got a situation. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I wish I could. You know what I'm saying? I understood, like, oh, look how songs are coming out. People are dropping we doing this and this and that. I present them a bunch of music, and it's like, all right, when we get these clearances, or when we get this and this and that, and it's like, all right, well, I want to get this record out. 2 months, 3 months go by, and somebody else come and take the vibe or do something with that producer in the same lane, or take the same beat, and like that just happened to me so many different times.
Yeah.
Don't you think you're
I
gonna
lost
go through?
records.
Don't you think you're gonna go through the same process though, even independently? Like, if getting clear, you still have to clear shit.
No, you don't.
In a way.
Hey, you don't. The shit. Hey, if the shit really pops, worry about it later.
Don't listen to that.
Worry
But
about it.
don't take that advice.
Shout out
Nah,
to Static Selector. He
I
taught me
mean-
that.
But go ahead.
I'm still clearing stuff, but I mean, I guess I'm working with, you know what I'm saying, circle of people that I've worked with when I was already independent before the label. And, you know what I'm saying, luckily for me, a lot of those guys have grown and have so much success,
for
and they're
sure.
super producers now. And I was working with them when I was on mixtapes, you know what I'm saying, before the label. So I still got a lot of relationships and, you know what I'm saying, able to, work different things, and we clearing records. And I think the biggest thing for me is, even if I have to, I guess, wait for, let's say, a feature or some super producer to clear, and it takes a minute or some sample, I know that in between that time, I could still go
You could
week
drop
for week
singles. Yeah.
on my own. So it's like, before it was like waiting for the label, we got a hit, but we not going to do nothing till the hit comes out. So where now it's like, all right, I got a hit. We're going to set this for
You could heat up the fan base
May.
with any of these songs you got.
right. Get the momentum going first, instead of just, you know what I'm saying, waiting, sitting on records.
What's the strategy you think going forward for you? Because I noticed that it's either one or two artists, right? It's two types of artists right now. You either get hella saturation, or you get the mystique, like the Kendrick, and like they go away and you don't see or hear nothing, right? Which would, like, moving forward, what are you gonna be? Because I feel like you have, like you said, you're not good with the social shit. You don't really let people in on what's really going on.
Well, it's like, I think I can't take like 2, 3. I don't think I can personally, like, just, I guess work-wise, I work all day, every day. And I couldn't see myself ever taking a year, or, like, not a year, but especially I was with the label, so it's kind of different. But I don't see myself at this point taking a year or 2 off without music or a project or something that's feeding the fans, just because that's just what I like to do. And I understand also the gap that I already had. So for me personally, I got to keep moving.
Yeah.
I don't know in the next 5 years, or, 3 years, if I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to chill, let them wait, let it sizzle a little bit. But as of right now, I feel like
Flood.
I got to flood as much as possible. So
Yeah, no, you're doing the right thing.
I
I was
agree.
just telling that to Will. I'm like, yo, keep on dropping shit like every week, because I know you got the music, man,
yeah, and it's like, it's,
and you own that catalog.
it feels good though to like not only drop records, like I said, that I've revisited or stuff I've been sitting on, but like to get a beat on Monday, finish it by Thursday, and then really have it out the next week, and it be current content. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not having to take all these old records where it's old records, you know what I'm saying? Or having to rewrite all this old stuff. I could really tap in and be more ahead of the game than, you know what I'm saying, I ever was, I feel like.
What are some of your fears? Because I feel like when people go independent, especially coming off the major situation, that's like the ultimate double down on yourself.
Yeah, the biggest, like, again, it's doubling down on myself, is, you know what I'm saying, putting, you know what I'm saying, my money where my mouth is. It's not like putting it on anybody else. I think, though, that gives me more of a hustle. Like, I like that. I feel like
Light a fire under your ass.
there was a way of getting comfortable with the label. I'm not gonna lie, to where
I
that was
feel
an
like
excuse.
there was times where I was like, man, Ink's too comfortable, man. Like,
But it's not even comfortable feeling like that. I had succeeded to a level of more just feeling comfortable with blaming stuff on them.
right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
it makes sense.
having that, you know what I'm saying, on my back to be like, well, it didn't happen because maybe if they would have just did this and that. So now I can't really do that. So it's kind of like
Now
when
it's
I
on
approach it and go into it, I have to go into a more of a 100% and cover all bases than waiting for somebody else to come in. Because I mean, I got signed to the label. Of course, I'm going in and I'm like, I'm gonna do this and continue to work, and they're gonna come take all this extra and fill it in. And you know, it didn't really work out that completely.
I know that like you had kind of gotten associated with your sound per se, or at least what like the general hip hop fans would say is the Kid Ink sound, which is like, you know, Kid Ink with a fucking huge R&B singer on a mustard beat.
Yeah.
And I know that you had conscientiously like kind of made the decision to kind of like not try to go after that sound anymore.
Because, and I think that also played a lot more with being with the label, and I think with knowing what they expected of me and wanted more so than now, since I've been away, I'm less conscious of it and, you know, having more fun. Because I know that when I do,
You don't want to force any music.
right, but I know that if I do 5 of those, that I get to go through and actually pick 1 or 2 that I like and be like, all right, these are the ones we're putting out, these 3 no. To where with the label, if I gave them 5 of those, they was going to figure out how to put all 5 out at the same time, maybe, or you know what I'm saying, as a project, or just different ways to talk me into, you know what I'm saying, do something like that. So from there, I think, you know, now that I'm a little bit more in control, I'm not overthinking that, because if I put this out next week, I could just put something else out.
Mm-hmm.
Other way was put this out and feed this for 6 months and then come back with another one with the same sound, and that's all they got for 6 months was these 2 records. So
That makes sense.
Like getting away, like actually diving right into what Kev just said. What do you actually want to make musically? What kind of content does Kid Ink actually want to make? Because I know everybody associates you, including myself, with a certain type of song. But from you,
well, I think I'm trying to figure out not necessarily how to make,
even if you don't know, that's cool too.
but it's not necessarily. It's not. I think because I had to step out of a place of thinking about what a beat sounded like and how that beat was making somebody feel, and just really figuring out how to create an entire vibe like that over a different type of music. So no matter what it is, people still get that vibe, you know what I'm saying, from Kid Ink, which, you know, I think the vibe that people enjoy from me the most as far as on the radio is, or just, you know what I'm saying, commercially is, well, I've been hearing a lot lately. It's more so like girl music, not girl music, but like music that like gangsters can like could dance in the club with their girls. Like,
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I guess like vulnerable guy music.
Vulnerable guy music. Real. I like how he said that. I'm
Like,
We call that we'll call it Nico Blitz music.
But a little bit
vulnerable guy music.
but
Real vulnerable
less-
motherfucker
what the
right
fuck
there.
does that mean?
But less like, I don't know. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing from other people, but less like R&B, like more like still club party
Yeah.
music.
Right,
So
right,
like
right.
setting the mood or setting a scene of not being like in like necessarily like in a love situation, but like being in a situation where it's like I'm with this girl and this is our vibe. This is how we vibe in the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my dudes, but I'm definitely, this is the vibe.
I'm fucking with her.
I'm messing with her. We doing this, we doing that. And it's still with less like R&B. Like I like to keep it, you know, we getting high, we drinking, we, you know what I'm saying, we partying, we going to the strip club with this girl, we doing different things. I think that guys don't probably normally get to this experience maybe with their girl, but that's kind of how, you know what I'm saying.
But
my
that's what people
relationship
expect from you. I'm talking about fuck people.
was. Okay.
What does Kid Ink want to do? What does Kid Ink want to make? No expectations. Anything you drop going platinum.
Death metal?
Welcome to J. Cole
Death
land.
metal?
So,
Polka.
yeah. What do you
honestly,
want to do?
I always wanted to be an artist that was a little more, you know what I'm saying, unexpected to know, because I got looked up to like musically when I was just coming up in the game, like Pharrell, because it was somebody who covered all bases and was able to, again, create his sound and imply it in different genres.
That's
and,
true.
you know, have fun with it. And I feel like that's what I've always done with music, especially like, when I'm in the States, it's different. When I go overseas, the amount of different music that I'm able to perform is crazy because, you know what I'm saying, it's it's all type of different diverse, you know what I'm saying, stuff going on around the world, and the way that I'm able to split it up is way more fun and
dig a little bit deeper into the catalog.
Yeah,
for the
then they
shit.
oh, absolutely, because they with it instead of, you know what I'm saying, going somewhere where they expected me to just do strictly hip hop, you know, being able to switch it up but still do hip hop. Like I'm still rapping, I'm still lyrically, I'm still, you know what I'm saying, keeping it to the culture. Like I'm not doing like, cause even if you were like early when you said Flow Rider, like I'm
listen.
It's definitely
Flow
more
Rider's
like,
a sweetheart. He's a nice guy.
Nah, yeah, but
him and Jason Derulo to me are the most generic.
Right, but that's what I'm
corniest
saying,
artists of
and I
all
don't
time.
feel like they're necessarily in the culture or with the culture. You
No,
know
but
what I'm
I
saying?
was
As
just
much
saying-
as like I'm.
No.
in the
Flow.
culture.
Listen. I didn't mean like.
Nah,
Okay, more Nelly maybe. Yeah, no. I did not mean to compare you to Flow Rider. Like
more
I
like
just,
Fab, like
you're a radio. Like I feel like people look like, oh yeah, like you're like anyway.
But it's great. But when you talk to my fans, like
Don't ever do a song with Flow Rider, please.
All right, when you,
Or Jason Derulo.
Agreed. I already did one with Jason.
Oh
Derulo.
shit.
But
I'm sure he's a nice guy too, man. I just feel like he's like, you know, he's like McDonald's. You know, it's like, yeah. No, Pitbull's.
I'm gonna go have some sushi.
great guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause we
Pitbull's
just
fire,
throwing
though.
random shit out there.
I don't remember what I was about to say.
I don't know either.
Welcome to Bootleg Kev, man. Okay.
Is this what
Hey,
happens?
did you ever find out what, you know, obviously, you know, a while ago you had the house got robbed. Did you ever find out any like this? I know that there was some video.
I didn't find out. Well, I mean, I have video or footage. I have security cameras that have footage of the faces of the people who did it. I don't know them. They hit some other houses in the neighborhood the same day.
It never got caught.
Nah, man. The police didn't really do too much, and I don't like the way.
So the police is like a label.
I don't like the way they handled it.
It's called a callback.
Because like they came by, did the police report, pretty much looked at me like it was insurance fraud. Like they didn't believe. Because
For real?
I live in a pretty decent neighborhood. You know, I live in a decent.
You could just say, I'm rich.
I live in a good neighborhood. Okay.
Say I'm.
All of my neighbors, all of my neighbors are not threats. So for me, you know, there's occasional days where, yeah, a sliding door, if I'm rushing, might get left open. You know, something might
That's
not
out,
be locked.
bro.
But you know, my car might get left open. It doesn't happen anymore because I found out that, you know, it's not really
You
cool.
could catch slipping.
But you know, that day I got caught slipping. You know, they came by like an hour after, but the police came by, acted like everything I told them was a lie. When they looked at me, I could tell. He's just like, yeah, insurance fraud. I'm naming all this stuff. He's like, really, all that much stuff? Really? All right. And then the next day, I haven't told nobody else about this but the police. The next day, TMZ has a report. And I'm just like, bro, come on, police. I only told y'all. So, like, y'all went straight to TMZ before even handling
The business.
anything else. And then I got a letter a couple months later, like, this is the detective assigned if you want to call and get updates. You know, but I did my researching and had, you know, my jewelers and my street guys and everybody, you know, check everywhere that they normally know stuff gets sold or taken to, and it looks at this point like they just sitting on it. So
They're probably gonna sit on it as
Hell yeah, I'm gonna wait.
I mean, my name is on everything and logos, and like it's nowhere you could really take it. Like the word is out.
Yeah.
If you take it, I'm just gonna come, you know what I'm saying, figure it out.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna
You
do
send
anything
Big Chuck over
personally.
there? You want Big Chuck? Shout out to Big
Chuck
Chuck,
got
by
a
the
lot.
way.
Big Chuck got
man.
I saw
cousins
Big
and
Chuck
stuff.
with YB and Corday. We're like, I'm like, Chuck!
Chuck out here.
Yeah, he out here beating up motherfuckers for everybody now. Not just you. Shit.
Shout out Chuck. I was just talking to him on the bus with Corday the other day. He out there living.
Hey, Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say talk about entrepreneurship because I feel like you and Ill Will was like really early on the merchandising. Y'all was really early on like enterprising yourself as not just doing the music, but as a business.
Clothing line still popping.
Still going strong, but I feel like everybody does that now. It's like part of the system.
It's part of the system.
realize
Yeah. I mean, it originally it was for the fans. Like, you know, we like to wear stuff, you know, for the team. And
She could be like Last Kings.
it was always cool to make stuff for the team. I don't know what that was about. It was always good to make stuff.
Kev is gonna Kev is what we say. Just go ahead. Don't look over there.
It was good to make stuff for the team, and then when the team would see us on the socials with it, then they, you know what I'm saying, or the fans, they were all requesting it after we doing the shows, because it was like a couple shows I didn't have merch, and you know what I'm saying, I was getting asked like, where's the merch? Because it's my first run. I'm independent. I did like my first tour in Europe, and they was like, where's the merch? Where's the merch? Da, da, da. So after that, you know, we got a little bit more onto it and really was making it for the fans, but then it became something that people just, you know, liked the style of and wanted to wear, and, you know, like just how we were incorporating it with just different things going on, whether it be shoe releases, whatever the case may be, or just, you know, pop culture. It just grew into something more that people requested more of, and we just saw a bigger vision for it and, you know, went with it. And I think, you know, from there, just took over the hat game for a minute.
Yeah, lots of hats. The hats with Rolex, you know.
The chain?
On the back.
The link on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not very comfortable, but, you know, fly. Anyway, obviously,
not very comfortable.
Being from LA, I know you've never been.
Because he's bald.
Who, me?
Oh, it was pinching.
No, but I know you never were the biggest Laker fan. I know you've been more of a Clipper guy, but obviously, you know, one of the greatest of all time, Kobe, just passed. Just want to get your thoughts on Kobe.
I mean, it's sad. It's definitely tragic. That day I was in church. The pastor opened up the sermon with it. So my phone was blowing up in church, but I'm in church.
So you found out from the pastor.
So I found out from the pastor, and everyone in the church is like thinking he's like playing because nobody knows what's going on. And then after, you know, everyone got their emotions together, I think, you know, we were getting through it with just the news of Kobe. And then when I, you know, left and researched and seen, you know, that his daughter was on the plane and the other people, it just hit just even, you know what I'm saying, harder, you know. And I just start thinking, because, you know,
you got kids.
I got kids.
Yeah.
I have a daughter. I have another daughter on the way. You know what I'm saying? I love, you know, being what were you saying, a daughter's dad, a girl dad,
yeah.
You know. And I always, I think, use him as an example for, you know, how my life could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I would bring it up, I'll be like, yo, I got 2 girls now. I might end up like Kobe, man. And I think I will still pay attention to, you know, his mannerisms with that, and, you know, how everyone else would feel like, you want a son, I know you want a son, and that's how people come at me like, I know you want a son, I know you want a son. And it's just like, you know, seeing that relationship there and just even seeing it more and more and paying attention to how, like, all the time he was at the game, she was there, and just that connection, it just, you know, it definitely hit home for me. And, you know, I had to, you know, get through it. Had a hard little day,
it's
man.
still rough. Like anytime, like you know, tonight seeing Shaq crying on TV and shit. That shit's hard to see.
I haven't been able to stay on socials. Recording hasn't really been that easy. I've been going in and just cutting melodies, but, you know, it's hard to have fun.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
When it's just, you know, tragedy.
Well, look, are we going to be getting a new song a week from you? Like, what is this going to be? Something that's going?
Oh, absolutely. We keeping it going. I think, you know, I got stuck into the label mode they take, like December and January. Oh nah, I just, you know what I'm saying, been getting the year started. I got the new baby on the way. I definitely been cranking and getting stuff, you know, together. And then after that, I got the home studio. So that was a good thing, is me investing in the home studio early, because another thing, a part of, you know, being with a label, the stuff you record with them.
Yeah.
And
they own the masters.
Yeah,
right?
that's theirs. Like everything that you recorded on their dime is theirs. Everything, you know what I'm saying? Even booking the studio and getting that budget. So I just took a month of not getting a budget and took that money and invested in the same equipment. So now I'm just, you know,
You free.
I can run whenever.
Django is a free man.
Yeah. We out.
Look at that nigga on that nay. You see that nigga on that nay, Kev?
No.
Hey, listen, man, I'm happy for you, bro.
Fucking asshole.
Man, I'm happy too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Excited. I hope the fans are excited. I hope everybody's ready. You know what I'm saying?
We're excited. Hey, and the
Yeah.
music, I was telling this to Will, man. The music has been ever since you've been fucking with Foundation and the independent shit has been solid. Like,
Appreciate
you've been
it.
putting out dope shit, man.
Again,
Now,
Randy
question
Moss hard.
before we go.
Randy Moss.
Big label comes, they want back in. Another label, different label, whatever. Do you go back in? Do you know?
I mean, not necessarily. Nah.
No?
Not for me.
So you're done with that?
Well, not. I'm not gonna say done in life, because there's a price.
Clean up on aisle 7. Go ahead.
There's always this price.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like if I get value to that price, like it's cool. Nah.
Bet.
But I think you know, the money that I got from the label, I had already made independently. So it's like they give me a mill or
I need to start
whatever.
doing some records.
I had already independently, you know what I'm saying, made a mill between, you know, selling records, doing shows and merch or whatever we had going on. And from there, it was still so early, like I didn't even I didn't even look at that and be like, dang, I could make 2 of these. I just immediately went straight to the label. So already knowing that, you know, where I could go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then having to be able to make that $1 million and now go, okay, now I can make $1 million and invest it in myself and double that. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like I definitely have a bigger picture before I go back to a label.
Well, Kid Ink, thank you for your time. Go buy his clothes and buy his music. And
Everything else I got coming out real soon and some other business.
Introduce the song.
Oh, man. And, you know what I'm saying? I tapped in. You know, I feel like a lot of fans, even though they like the radio records, I have a lot of core fans that really like when I tap in and become, you know what I'm saying, vulnerable in a way of just personal feelings. I don't really do a lot of personal talking. So
at all.
Got this record right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Talking to y'all, talking to the fans. We back in the building. Holy Grail. We free. Alumni. One time.